Hello and good evening, everyone. Hope you're having a relaxed weekend with your family and friends. Sundays on the Spectrum-Autism group are celebrated as Self-Care Sunday, and I hope that you did something to empower yourself today. Welcome to the 87th session of Talk to the Expert series organized by the Spectrum-Autism team. Hi, my name is Shivali, and I shall be your host this evening. 18th of June is observed as the Autism Pride Day, dedicated to promoting awareness, understanding, and acceptance of autism. This year's theme is transforming the narrative, contributions at home, at work, in the arts, and in policymaking. So let's all buckle up. Also, today is the third Sunday of June, which is observed as a Father's Day. So here's wishing each and everyone who is playing the role of a father figure to anyone in their life a very, very happy Father's Day. And on this note, before I invite the guest tonight, I would like to take you through one small AV about what we do here as part of the Spectrum-Autism team. So just bear with me for a moment. Okay, here we go. I hope you will be able to hear the sound. So this is what we do, and ये एक छोटा सा slide which tells you about the message that we want to communicate to everyone. The Spectrum Autism एक पहल है ऑटिज्म के बारे में जागरूकता और संवेदनशीलता को हर उस दिल तक पहुंचाने के लिए जो मानवीय संवेदनाओं से धड़कता है. रास्ता मुश्किल सही, पर आपका साथ और प्रोत्साहन हमें हमारी मंजिल की ओर चलने के लिए प्रेरित करता रहेगा. And on that note, I would like to introduce our guest tonight. He is the President Pranic Healing Society of Jaipur, Mr. Hemant Gupta. मुझे एक फीडबैक मिला अभी कि मुझे थोड़ा सा हिंदी में बोलना चाहिए. So IIT कानपुर से इन्होंने अपना ग्रेजुएशन किया और लगभग 35 साल आईटी इंडस्ट्री में इन्होंने बहुत सफल तरीके से काम किया. एक एंटरप्रेन्योर के तरीके से इन्होंने राजस्थान की आईटी इंडस्ट्री या सेगमेंट में उसको स्टार्ट किया वहाँ पे, और अपने करियर में बहुत सारे सीनियर टेक्निकल पोजीशंस और मैनेजमेंट पोजीशंस पे इन्होंने काम किया है. बहुत शुरुआती जो रुझान रहा स्पिरिचुअलिटी की तरफ, वो अब उनका एक फुल टाइम ऑक्यूपेशन बन गया है, और अभी करेंटली वो एक ट्रेनर, रिसर्चर और हीलर की तरह प्राणिक हीलिंग करते हैं. उनका स्पेशलाइजेशन स्पिरिचुअलिटी में है और वो आज हमें अपने एक्सपर्टीज के बारे में बताने वाले हैं. सो ऑन दिस नोट I would welcome Hemant sir. Hi sir, good evening.
Namaste Shivali, and namaste to all the people who are attending. Thank you for this very nice introduction.
जी सर. सो हम लोग स्पेक्ट्रम ऑटिज्म में हमेशा से बात करते रहे हैं मेंटल हेल्थ एंड वेलबींग की, स्पेशली फॉर आवर पेरेंट्स एंड केयरगिवर्स. और लास्ट महीना जो मंथ का महीना था वो हमने माइंडफुलनेस मे की तरह सेलिब्रेट किया. सो जैसे हम सभी जानते हैं कि ब्रीदिंग टेक्निक्स, प्राणायाम या मेडिटेशन, प्राणिक हीलिंग, ये सभी वो तरीके हैं जिनके थ्रू हम अपना माइंडफुलनेस या कोशेंट या मेंटल हेल्थ वेलबींग को बढ़ा सकते हैं. सो आप प्राणिक हीलिंग के बारे में सर हमें कुछ बताएं प्लीज.
हाँ जरूर. थैंक यू फॉर दिस अपॉर्चुनिटी. because this is a subject which is very close to my heart.
Oops. What happened? I can't see you. Hi, sir. We lost you in between.
I don't know if there was some problem at my end or something
Okay.
happened. I don't know.
No
Sorry.
worries.
So
No
I was
worries.
just saying that this is a subject. ये तो बड़े मेरे क्या बोलते हैं, मेरा full time passion यही है. तो इसके बारे में मौका मिलता है बोलने का, तो इसके लिए always I'm very grateful. So thank you for this opportunity. So quickly I'll talk about what is pranic healing, जिससे कि everybody understands कि हम क्या बात क्या कर रहे हैं. What are we talking about? So there is a slide that I will share. ऐसा बोलते हैं ना, picture speaks 1,000 words. So in current, I think आज के ज़माने में a slide says many things. So I hope everybody can see the slide. So pranic healing को it's an ancient art and science, है ना. It's a आप सोचिए कि योग विद्या में से ही derived एक craft या एक तरीका है, एक तौर तरीका है जिसको हम trace back कर सकते हैं to ancient yogic scriptures. एंड इफ यू नोटिस, मैंने साइंस शब्द को अंडरलाइन किया है, वो इसलिए क्योंकि अक्सर जब इस तरह के विषय को हम देखते हैं, व्हेन वी लुक एट अ टॉपिक लाइक दिस, वी टेंड टू अप्रोच इट विद अ ग्रेट डील ऑफ मिस्टिसिज्म, है ना. उसको तिलस्मी या रहस्यमयी मानते हैं. But this is, I think, the difference with pranic healing, and that's why somebody like me with a very intensive science, technology, IT background was able to sort of relate to it and adopt it, and I like it so much because it is logical, scientific, rational in approach, है ना. थोड़ा वैज्ञानिक दृष्टिकोण से हम इस विषय को समझते हैं और समझाते हैं. प्राचीन विद्या है, लेकिन इसको रिसेंटली करीब 40-50 साल पहले एक फिलीपींस में गुरुजी हुए, जिनका तस्वीर आप पीछे देख सकते हैं, मास्टर चो कॉक्सुई. He sort of rediscovered this knowledge and he has presented it. So starting around the late 80s, it has now already spread to over 120 countries. And I think from that you can see that it must be easy to learn and it must be easy and safe and effective. तो इसीलिए वो इसका इतना जल्दी से it has spread all over the world, है ना. So this is something that we give as an introduction to pranic healing. So, but I'll just talk about a little bit more about it because when you say pranic healing, so ये समझिए कि प्राण द्वारा उपचार or healing using pran. So then the question may come, what is pran? Or when I'm saying pran, what am I referring to? Because there are many different understandings and meanings people assign to pran. So in our case, when we say pran, we mean that metaphysical energy that keeps us alive. देखिए, कोई भी चीज, कोई भी जानवर, पौधा, मनुष्य, bird, insect, anything that is alive, it is alive because it has something called pran. Pran is an energy, it's a form of energy. And until that energy is there in that organism, उस शरीर में जब तक प्राण रहता है, वह शरीर जीवित रहता है. जब when the prana leaves the body, है ना, then we say that the body has died. And many times people mistake it for the soul, कि अच्छा आप आत्मा की बात कर रहे हैं. तो नहीं, आत्मा की बात नहीं कर रहे. आप ऐसे समझिए कि आत्मा को शरीर को कंट्रोल करने के लिए बीच में एक ग्लू है ना, गोंद, something to hold. So prana is that energy that enables the soul to control and make use of the physical body. All right. And not only, so prana is a Sanskrit word, but not only the ancient Indian society, but many different ancient societies have had knowledge of this force or this energy. So in the Hebrew culture, they called it ruh. In Chinese, they called it chi. In Japanese, they called it ki. And in some other culture, they called it Pneuma. Somewhere they called it Mana. And of course, in India, we called it Prana. And in Pranic Healing, we call it Prana. And my promise to you is that if you understand about Prana, you will see that many of our ancient customs, traditions, practices, जो especially हमारे Indian culture में हैं, they are explained by Pran. If you have children, and these days children are very inquisitive and they have questions for everything. Once you understand Pran, which you can do through pranic healing, you will get a very good understanding of many of our traditions, our practices, our rituals, our symbols, through this. So I think it's in current times, it's a very important thing to know. And if I may just, take another couple of minutes to explain the phenomena. So what happens is that this energy is available to us through something called, I'm sorry, I'm getting a little lost.
No worries, sir.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, so this prana is available to you, like there is the visible physical body, which you can see, which you can touch, right? There is an invisible or mostly invisible. I say mostly because some people can see it. They're called clairvoyants. अधिकतर लोगों को ये नहीं दिखती है, इसलिए हम कह सकते हैं कि अदृश्य है ये. इसको संस्कृत में बोला गया है प्राणमय कोश. And so it's, if you can see in the diagram that I have presented, it interpenetrates the physical body. It is inside the physical body, it is outside the physical body. And its function is to provide this life force constantly to the physical body. And this is what enables our body to work autonomously. It enables our body to keep normalizing itself autonomously. Autonomously matlab apne aap se. For example, if you are tired, if you just go and rest for some time, your body normalizes.
Yeah.
That is the role of the prana. Even if you, for example, aapki ungli thodi cut gayi, small cut, even if you don't apply any medication or anything, in a little while, the cut will close up.
Yeah, it will start healing on its own.
Yeah, the scar will form, and in some time, maybe the scar will also go. The body is healing itself. The prana is what enables the body to, of course, to exist, to live, and to heal itself, normalize itself from different conditions, provided you have sufficient amount of prana. Illness happens when our prana levels are, deficient. And that is when, so if you have, these days, pranayam is very popular. Pranayam gives us techniques for manipulating, for improving our pranamaya kosh, this energy body. When we do pranayam, the quality and quantity of prana available to the physical body improves. And when that happens, some diseases get corrected. Your stamina improves. Many other benefits. I'm sure by now everybody understands the benefits of pranayam.
Yeah.
And to continue on this path or on this subject, this energy body, like our physical body has organs, and it has like the nervous system, the circulatory system, and so on. The energy body also has components, and we can divide these components into largely two. There are the chakras, which are like the organs of the physical body, and then there are the nadis or the meridians, which connect chakra to organ, chakra to skin, etc., etc. So they are like the circulatory system in the physical body. They allow the flow of prana. And many of the healing modalities that you may have seen, they work on the nadis, on the meridians, like acupressure, acupuncture.
Yeah.
In our case, in pranic healing, we work more on the chakras, not on the nadis.
Okay.
The benefit of that I will come to in a couple of minutes. Now, we are able to offer definitive evidence of what we do in pranic healing at the level of the aura. So there is now equipment, the Kirlian camera, through which we are able to examine objectively, mechanically, the aura. So as you can see in this slide, the aura of a person before healing and after healing, there is substantial improvement after healing.
Yeah.
Just to talk a little bit more about the chakras and the nadis. And like I said, many healing modalities, they work on the nadis. So sujok, acupuncture, acupressure, and maybe some others, they work on the nadis. I think Ayurveda works on both, yoga works on both. And of course, in our case, we work on the chakras. Now, looking at this diagram, some people may think, but there are only 7 chakras. So I just want to clarify, there are not just 7 chakras. There are tens of thousands of chakras. When you define chakra as an energy center, so for every fingertip has a chakra. Your palm has a bigger chakra. Your heart, for example, has an even bigger chakra. And so it's a matter of classification. In our traditional systems, it was classified as 7 major chakras. But in pranic healing, we consider that there are 12 major chakras.
Okay.
Yeah. And we work mainly on that. So, if people are interested, we can quickly try to do an experiment where we try to, feel prana. Because prana, like I said, hard to see or hard to measure through instruments. But, or maybe I'll just talk you through this. I don't know if people will be able to give feedback right now. Is that, you think people can give feedback right now?
I doubt they will be able to give us feedback
all
now.
Right.
But
so I'll just describe the experiment. I would suggest to people that they do this experiment on their own after the session, and to you they can send their feedback. Okay.
Yeah.
So the experiment is simple. Just do pranayam for a little while. Connect your tongue to the palate. Inhale, pause, exhale, pause. Keep doing that for a few minutes. After that, you press the center of the palm with the nail of the thumb of the other hand. Do it with both hands. Have you understood? पहले 2-3 मिनट प्राणायाम कीजिए. जीभ को तालू से लगाइए, सांस लीजिए, रोकिए, सांस छोड़िए, रोकिए. Simple, normal, relaxed breathing. Slightly deeper than normal करेंगे, ज़्यादा अच्छा रहे. And then you do this. You sit with your hands, apart, about 2-3 inches apart. Again, relaxed posture. Now you continue the pranayam, but just focus on the centers of the palms. In many cases, in most cases, most people will feel something between their hands, which is not a normal feeling. Some people say, I feel some magnetic field or magnetic force. Some people say that it's like a balloon inside between the hands. Some people say that they feel attraction, repulsion. Some people say that they feel tingling or warmth. And, so different people have different experiences. But it's a very simple experiment that people can do. And the only way to explain this phenomena is that what happens is that when you do pranayam, your energy body improves. More prana comes into your system. Where you concentrate, the prana concentrates there. वहां पे वो इकट्ठा होने लगता है. इतना ज्यादा हो जाता है कि आप उसको महसूस कर पाते हैं. Now, I said that, why we work on the chakras, there is a benefit to that. The thing is that the chakras play a role in our health, physical health, but also in our psychological health. Also in our success in the work we do, in our prosperity. We are able to help people in their relationships through working on their chakras. We are able to help people in their spiritual progress, or people find that their spiritual progress improves when they get a better understanding of their chakras. Because the different chakras have functions at the physical level, at the psychological level, let's say at the mental level, and at the spiritual level. You see, when you talk about spirituality, it is completely non-material. When you talk about thoughts and emotions, it is completely non-material. Let me give you another perspective to that, which might help. We talked about the physical body, we talked about the pranamaya kosh.
Right.
But in fact, you have many more koshas.
Kosh is like the center of energy.
Sheath or a body.
Yeah, okay.
So, or as the terminology used in this slide is many layers of the aura. And each of them is related to a different aspect of your personality.
Right.
And if you think that this is just some new age nonsense, no, it is, these terms are very ancient. The Sanskrit terms are very ancient. So this is something that our ancestors have known. We seem to have forgotten, and now we need to relearn this because it seems to affect our life, our attitudes, our personalities much more, our behaviors. And I talked about success and prosperity and relationships and of course psychological health much. I mean, I can't think of anything that affects psychological health, emotional and mental health more than what we teach in Pranic Healing. I mean, I know I fully respect the science of psychology and psychotherapy and so on. My suggestion is that all psychiatrists and psychologists must learn Pranic Healing, or at least must learn the Pranic Healing perspective to emotional and mental health. Yeah. So because the chakras have functions at all the different levels, at the different bodies that you see, by working on the chakras, we are able to improve ourselves at the different levels.
There's just one feedback which has come. The practice that you had shown, this experiment that you were talking about, because of the screen share, your screen is not visible.
Not very visible.
Yeah. So maybe if you could repeat that, that
I will
would
repeat
help.
that.
Yeah.
Let me just quickly finish two more slides and we'll get back to it. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. So, you see the thing, since your focus, as I understand, Shivali, you are a mental health professional. So your focus would be on mental health or psychological health.
Yes.
Every thought and emotion that we have is present in our aura. When we say aura, to mean all these bodies combined. They are influencing us. And this is the average person. If you see on the left, the image on the left, this is the average person full of stresses, fears, irritability, etc., anxieties, and so on. What we want to be is to have an aura like the person on the right, clean and bright. And another point to drive here home is that every emotion and thought is very real at the energy level. They are completely non-physical in manifestation. तब इनका कोई फिजिकल रूप नहीं है, लेकिन ये जो आप सामने इमेजेस देख रहे हैं, these are real, seen by people who can see them. This ability, ये एक जो सिद्धि है, ये रेयर है लेकिन अननोन नहीं है. तो जब आप ये देख पाते हैं, you are able to see, can you see the difference in the quality of the energy between the positive emotions and the negative emotions?
Yeah, the colors are looking very pretty, as in they're not very loud.
But they are very
soft
real,
colors
mind
and
you.
Beautiful.
ये imagined नहीं है, these are very real. Yeah. So every emotion and thought that you have has an effect on the aura. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So you were asking me to show that practice. Can we just come back to that now?
Yeah, please. I'll put you on the spotlight. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Shall I proceed? Okay. So क्या करनी है आपने? अपनी जीभ को तालू से लगाइए. So that the tip of the tongue is connected to the roof of the mouth. जीभ को तालू से लगाइए. मुंह बंद कर लीजिए, आराम से बैठिए. Maybe just do it with me. सांस लीजिए, हल्का सा रोकिए, सांस छोड़िए, हल्का सा रोकिए. Inhale, pause, exhale, and pause. Just do this for a couple of minutes. सांस लीजिए, सामान्य से हल्की सी गहरी सांस लेंगे तो अच्छा रहेगा. But don't labor your breathing. Don't make a great effort in your breathing. जीभ को तालू से लगा के रखिए. सांस लीजिए, सामान्य से हल्की गहरी, हल्का सा रोकिए, आराम से धीरे धीरे छोड़िए, फिर हल्का सा रोकिए. है ना, सिंपल प्राणायाम. Inhale slightly deeper than normal. Pause. Exhale. Nice and relaxed exhalation. Then pause again. Keep the tip of the tongue connected to the palate. If you want, close your eyes so that you can focus on your breath completely. Very good. If you have closed your eyes, just open your eyes. Continue the breathing. आंखें खोल लीजिए. प्राणायाम जारी रखिए. बायां हाथ उठाइए, दाहिने हाथ के अंगूठे के नाखून को थोड़ा गड़ाइए. Just press a little hard. Do the same thing with the other hand. Okay? Keep your hands facing each other about 3-4 inches apart. दोनों हथेलियां एक दूसरे के सामने करीब 3-4 इंच दूर. ये प्राणायाम जारी रखिए, लेकिन अब अपना पूरा ध्यान हथेलियों के बीच में. Continue the breathing, but now focus on the center of the palms where you press the thumb. Just relax and smile. Don't expect anything. Don't imagine anything. Just relax and keep your hands relaxed and loose. Tight नहीं. Stiff होंगे तो आपको दिक्कत आएगी कुछ experience करने में. Now gently move your hands forward and backwards. पास लाइए लेकिन छुए नहीं. थोड़ा दूर ले जाइए, ज्यादा दूर नहीं. Bring your hands closer without touching. Take them a little further apart. Do you feel something between your hands which is a slightly unusual feeling? I mean, in the sense that you've never felt this before. Would you like to give some feedback?
I think people are just practicing because we got the feedback from a parent that she's trying to do it. So when she gives us the feedback again, I will definitely share with you.
Sure.
Yeah. So yeah, the thing that with pranic healing, as you mentioned that we're talking about mindfulness and mental health and well-being. So does this, apart from healing the physical body, you mentioned about it has impact on thoughts and emotions. So those who are facing, let's say, depression, anxiety, or have sleep disorders, or don't seem to have very congenial relationship with each other, or not very comfortable with themselves also sometimes. Pranic healing can help, because the question that why I'm asking is, we are focused about empowering the parents of special need children, and everybody else also who wants to practice or improve their general well-being, emotional health also. So can this help in that aspect also? Please guide us through.
I think it will help tremendously, because you see, in general, stress now is omnipresent, if I may use the word. It's omnipresent. And I would think, and with my limited interaction with the families of special need children, their stress levels are much higher, and they are consistently much higher. So I think this will help tremendously. I'm not exaggerating for the sake of trying to sell something or anything like that. I honestly believe that everybody should learn it, but more so families of children with special needs, I think it will really, really help them. I personally know of many people who of a similar background, and they have benefited tremendously. I mean, let me first talk about how it helps somebody from a very normal or average background. Like I said, stress is omnipresent. Health today is under stress also, or under strain, because pollution and food is no longer as pure or as nutritious as it used to be. People don't have, lifestyles have changed, where exercise and so on takes a great deal of effort and so on. So this gives you another dimension to your health. Yeah. Emotional, and so it helps you become more centered. It helps you relax. It helps you relax more deeply. Let me tell you about how it has helped me. Maybe that will exemplify this. Shivali, you and we have worked together, right? So if you remember, in those times, I used to get very stressed. If if you were to be honest in describing my personality in those days, I was a very irritable, very insensitive,
I
somewhat of
think
a dry.
you're being too harsh on yourself. So yeah, I think you were in the role that you're performing. So yeah, let's move
Well,
on.
whatever. So I was very dry emotionally. I was, very mental, very demanding, very exacting. Also, I used to be very stressed. And to cope with that stress, I used to smoke. If you remember, I used to smoke around 30 odd cigarettes every day. And every opportunity I got, I would also, use alcohol to help me relax. I gave up my job because it demanded travel, and that travel was taking a toll on my health. But after that, I got into pranic healing. And that is when I was able to increase my stress coping threshold. Stress kya hai? Stress is your ability to deal with the situation. So my ability to deal with the situation which so-called stresses, wo bahut sudhar gayi. My ability to show affection, to be more kind and tolerant, I think that improved as well. I had addictions. I was prone to anger, irritation. I think that improved tremendously. I mean, to the extent that I think everybody in my family used to be very scared of me. Forget about colleagues and juniors at work. My family used to be very scared of me. I think that changed quite a bit. My attitude towards life actually changed. I understood that life is purposeful, and I understood the purpose of life. And that really brought a sea change in my attitude to everything. My attitude to work also changed. I stopped, thinking of success at work as being, the number one important factor. My attitude to money changed. So now money became something that enabled a comfortable life rather than becoming, the reason for working. I would even say that my relationship towards God changed. Before that, I was a hardcore atheist. Although I was dabbling in spirituality, but any mention of religion, religious practices and so on would make me cringe. बाद में मेरा ये एक especially आध्यात्मिकता, spirituality के तरफ my attitude changed. You see, and I think I would give a lot of credit to pranic healing, because in the first course I did, we did a practice where I got direct evidence of how my attitude towards God, my attitude towards who I am, my attitude towards my behavior or approach to others, how that affects me. Because you learn to measure your energy body, and I was able to see that when I have an atheist attitude, my energy level became lower, and when I accepted that I am a child of God, the energy level expanded. So the blessing of God I could experience quantitatively. And in a non-religious, sectarian, somewhat scientific approach.
Mm-hmm.
So once I understood why I am living, why we are born, this became and in terms of evidence, I would actually also point out that in our pranic healing community now is busy preparing evidence, hardcore scientific evidence. We now have separate teams all over the world who are creating scientific research. We now have more than 100 papers published on the different ways in which pranic healing can help our day-to-day lives. So if you just Google pranic healing research or research on pranic healing, you will find a lot of these papers. And if anybody is interested, they can always contact me. I will forward the links to them and they can get that. Yeah. This is from one of the websites. So this is a conference that was held to discuss pranic healing research.
Okay.
And you see, I see this also with my students. Because I've been teaching pranic healing. So possibly I did not go into pranic healing because my life had some problems. But a lot of my students come into pranic healing because they are having problems. You know, for example, the usual problem of mother-in-law, daughter-in-law. Sometimes the mother-in-law is stressed. Sometimes the daughter-in-law is stressed. Many times it leads to depression. It leads to, different mental health issues. And we are able to help them first, and then we teach them and we encourage them to do it on themselves, and we encourage them to do it for others as a service.
Right.
And there is a gigantic amount of evidence that I can present to you just out of my students, because I must have taught something like maybe 500, 600 people. And this is a vast amount of evidence. Just this morning, one student requested time from me. She came and met me. So her husband has gone through a very, very life-threatening health issue. And she said, sir, I give full credit to what I have learned in pranic healing, because otherwise I would have been shattered when we came to know of the problem. But I have gone through this whole process. She went through about, she took her husband through 6 months of treatment, and it is continuing. And she says, I was always balanced. I never became anxious or, desperate or depressed or anything like that. And I give full credit to what I've learned in pranic healing. So very encouraging to get feedback like this.
Yeah. So I actually wanted one testimony, but you gave me more than one. And when you shared about yourself, it takes a lot of courage to do that. Correcting yourself is one thing, because you're doing it to make your life better, to make your families, the relationships better and all. But sharing it so that others get benefited out of it, because if you can do it, somebody else, even I can do it too. So,
I think you can do it better, because, I am not a touchy-feely sort of person, I'm not a very sensitive person. I'm not a touchy-feely person. And, in fact, my wife, I think, has gone on record. I had an interview on Doordarshan, and she spoke on Doordarshan that, yes, she has seen a lot of positive change in me. So, usse bada koi testimony nahi ho sakta.
Definitely. So what we're trying to do here, to everybody who has joined us today on the live and those who will be watching this later, is we're trying to find a way to connect with yourself, to empower yourself, to energize your own inner power that you have, and find a more peaceful, mindful way of living, such that whatever challenges in life that we are facing, because life है तो challenges हैं, or how well we can face those challenges. So pranic healing can give you that kind of support that you can find within yourself. Sir, any recommendations that you like to give to our parents and the viewers who are watching us today?
I think find out more about pranic healing. And we have a very nice 16-hour course. Do that. In your mission statement, I saw that you don't support any charge or anything. Unfortunately, our Guruji insisted that if somebody can pay, they should pay for the course. So we don't offer it free, but I would suggest that it's far more value than the amount that would be spent on the class. No matter where you are, if you are in a city, you will have a pranic healing center or a pranic healing instructor near you. What is covered in the class is quite exhaustive. If you can, please do that. We are now offering also online courses. Those are shorter in duration, but they are of much limited benefit. because, it's a healing modality. The instructor needs to monitor you and guide you face to face, which is a little difficult online. So yes, there are online courses also, shorter duration courses also, but this is, this is something. But apart from the formal structured course, we keep offering free and other sessions through Facebook, YouTube, and so on. So please stay connected with us, and we will try to help you as we can. We also have a very nice meditation which we offer online, and it's free. So feel free to join that. We have a very nice practice every evening where we lead you through forgiveness. It's a very therapeutic, very beneficial practice, and you are welcome. So we have many programs that you can join without spending any money and can be done distantly. And when you feel sufficiently motivated, please learn Pranic Healing. And अगर बिल्कुल भी आपके लिए possible नहीं है to join the course or attend the course for any reason, then maybe just order the book over Amazon, The Ancient Science and Art of Pranic Healing. Just order that book, read that book. That's a good starting point.
Right. So thank you so much for joining us today and sharing so many, insights with us. All we are trying to say here to the parents and to all the viewers who are watching us today is invest in self-care, empower yourself such that you're able to make the most out of this opportunity called life that we've got. It's very precious, so don't waste it just like that. And thank you so much, Hemant sir, for joining us today. And
I thank you, Shivali. And if you think anybody may have questions, they can email me, or they can, if you think you have time now, I would be happy to answer any questions.
Let me quickly check if there are any questions. Most of our parents watch it later in the evening. So if they have questions, they would definitely ask us. They'll leave it in the comment section. We do have some people who are watching us, but they're watching. I think we should allow them the time to, explore. And to all those viewers who have joined us today, I would request you to participate in the Joyful June, the Jar of Gratitude. Tell us 3 things, 3 people, 3 events in your life that you're grateful about, because expressing gratitude is very, very healing. And also, we are running a Pledge of Inclusion campaign, which the pledge says, I pledge to be inclusive and accept the unique. If you wish to join this drive, please do support us. And for all those who have joined us so far and who've been supporting this initiative, thank you so much once again, and have a blessed week ahead. Thank you so much,
Shivali.
sir.
Thank you once
again.
Thank you.
Bye.
Everybody.
Good night. Thank you.